You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's After Show.
Hey, Almost Human fans.
Hey.
We're here doing the Almost Human After Show. You just watched Almost Human. You want to listen to other people talk about it. You want to talk about it. We're here talking about episode 103. Are you receiving? Are you receiving? I don't know. I'm Matt Lieberman, and joining me on the panel this week are Megan Salinas.
Hey, everybody.
And Mr. Ryan Hooks.
Hey, what's up? Ryan Hooks here, and I am receiving.
You are receiving?
In.
Awesome. I just want to give a shout out to our dear friend Zach Wilson, who's one of the hosts on the show. He had to go home to New York a bit early for the Thanksgiving.
And it sucks because it's snowing in New York, and it's 70 degrees here in sunny California.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Suck on that. But we have a prepared statement from Mr. Wilson that I would like to read. Matt, I've gone to New York to investigate information that suggests my parents have been replaced by synthetic counterparts. If you not hear from me by next week's show, please, for your own safety, do not attempt to find me. Certainly do not look into this burgeoning group known as the Syndicate. Happy Thanksgiving. Best, Zach Wilson.
I think that we should definitely look into it if he doesn't come back.
I think we should look into it, too. That sounds way too suspicious for that to not be looked into.
I mean, Thanksgiving is already stressful enough, and you throw on robot duplicates on top of that, and that's
I'd like to have synthetic parents.
Why? Because they can have selective super speed when climbing up elevator ropes?
They can route phone calls to my Bluetooth?
Yeah, just by looking at you and pointing. Yes.
That would be nice to have call waiting.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with this episode. It was basically Die Hard. We got Die Hard with Kenix and Dorian instead of McClane and the dad from Family Matters, Reginald Vell Johnson.
And without Hans Gruber, I'm afraid.
And without Hans Gruber, but we got the guy who was essentially our Hans Gruber in this episode. He plays Dewey Crow on Justified, and I love that show. So it was cool to see him. But I thought it was fun. It was light. We got more Kenix Dorian banter and just like lots of good action. And it was a twisty heist plot. What'd you guys think?
Go ahead.
I had a lot of fun with it. I thought that, the whole hostage situation as a distraction was actually not a bad plan. But yeah, just the back and forth between the two of them as they're going up the stairs and everything. That was really cool and fun to see. And the bit with the coffee, nobody messes with my coffee warmer.
Yeah, with my.
I think if we had
warmer.
a man on a ledge, the plot would have been complete. But the distracting heist situation was fun, and
it is the plot of Die Hard. The plot of Die Hard is they look like they're a nationalist group and they're taking hostages, but they're really just trying to steal stuff. It is Die Hard. But I think it's a testament to the cast of this show and the strength of the writing that even though the majority of the show took place in a stairwell, it was still phenomenally entertaining.
Very well.
Like, we could watch them climb upstairs for almost an hour, and it was still a hell of a lot of fun.
John wasn't even winded.
Yeah.
I get winded if I go up 2 flights of stairs. I don't know how he went up 25
We saw how slow
flights.
they were walking. By the time they were on the 8th floor, they were like creeping up real slow, covering every floor, and then they got shot at.
Yeah, well, you can't get tired when you oil up your leg all nice. Yeah, he didn't have a Greek salad.
Nice olive oil.
He is that olive oiled up that leg. So I wanna start by talking about Kenix. He's warmed up to Dorian like almost entirely. He's warmed up to 165 degrees. The temperature that he likes his coffee.
Exactly.
And they're bickering like an old married couple, but the gruffness is kind of gone. It's disappeared really fast. And I know in this episode, John gains new respect for Dorian, with Dorian willing to sacrifice himself for these hostages. I think that John's definition of what an android is and what they can feel and what they can do and their definition of heroism, I think it changes every week as he continues to be impressed by Dorian. But I guess my question is this change in their relationship happening too quickly? Like, is it earned, do you think?
It is a little quicker, but at the same time, I don't really mind, because if it was a gruffer sort of relationship and it took maybe 3 more episodes or whatever for them to really warm up to each other, or for John to warm up to Dorian, I don't think it would be as much fun to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
And I like seeing characters play well off each other, and I like seeing that mutual respect there. And so I'm okay with it. It might have been a little quick, but honestly, I'm okay with it. We're into our buddy cop, sci-fi comedy drama.
I think it needed to happen fast, because you're going to see this in continuing episodes, that this relationship is going to keep building, and it's going to keep being funnier and funnier every single week with them interacting with each other. You're going to have that like Sherlock Watson thing where they're just finishing each other's sentences, and it's going to be funny to watch them, but then all this explosions and drama is going to be going on around them. So you need that right away so that they can drive the plot in other areas.
I half expected them, as they were walking into the police station at the end and everyone's clapping, they just high five.
High five.
Yeah!
Freeze frame high
freeze.
five.
Just the Newsies high five and freeze it again.
Totally. No, high five, and then we just spin around Matrix style. But, there was very little budget in
This is
episode.
the future. Anything can happen.
It's true. And I'm getting kind of like weird flashbacks to season 5 of Fringe, which was set in the future, but the tone in this is far more fun, and it feels like season 5 of Fringe was basically 13 episodes of fetch quests, whereas I'm like, there's still a whole new world to be explored here. And I think you're right. Like, yes, his prejudice towards synthetics probably ran a little deeper than the show is giving it credit, but we want to just see them have fun. We don't want to be mired down in Kennick's dour demeanor. He can't just be sad
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, especially on a broadcast show where we don't have 5 episodes to get to warm up to an anti-hero. We need to get on board now before the ratings fall. This is on Fox, people.
It's
We
Fox.
need to be on alert at all times.
And honestly, if I want to see him be a sour cop, I'll just go watch Dredd.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, there we go.
Go watch that for an hour and a half, and then watch this to lighten the mood.
Yeah. So we come into this hostage situation, okay, first of all, the woman at the top, she's like, I like my locks the old-fashioned way. Did anyone else think that was going to come into play somehow?
Not really, no.
Really? I thought that since they're trapped in the building and that's the one door with an ordinary lock, this is just because I do improv. It's like when you do improv, you look for the first unusual thing and you jump
Boom,
on it.
lock, yeah.
Yeah, or like Chekhov's gun, the smoking gun. It's Chekhov's lock.
I feel like it just made us have a sadness for when the security guard got shot. You can see this little flirty moment
Yeah,
where they're
that was more
they're
what
like,
I thought
oh,
it was.
hey, you left your keys. Let me get them for you. I got shot. And I
Did
thought
he say that?
No, he did. That was not. That was
Hey, I got these
subconscious
keys
dialogue.
for you. Also, I got shot.
I doth bleed.
Yeah,
Fox.
I doth bleed for you.
I wanted to see more though, maybe with her, if she was in the hostage situation or something, that she was sad he got shot. Because we
I
developed a
actually
like for
thought
him.
that was supposed to be more of just a little character trait for her. I figured that she was obviously going to be an important part of the
Yeah.
episode, and I thought that was just supposed to be a reflection of the kind of person she is. She's an old-fashioned kind of girl.
Yeah. Hiding
No
in
more.
closets. Hiding in closets while her sister cries and Aww. Well, she crept into that room super smoothly and then
dropped her phone in that pile.
super
was
smoothly
awesome.
again. I had someone direct message me on Twitter asking about how are they able to call each other inside the building when the communications were dampened, and I just want to say it's inside the building. It couldn't leave the building, so it works. Just go with it.
He had that line where he said that the calls are being routed to me because I'm the only receiver that functions because I'm inside the building.
Yeah.
So.
And who didn't love Kennick's fake drop call ploy with Maldonado?
Christmas.
Christmas. Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. They're in the building. We've got the fake terrorists are doing demands. We got face makers straight out of Mission Impossible. which I thought were pretty cool and put to great use when Kennick showed up on the 25th floor.
Yep.
I loved that reveal. How do we feel about Dorian just having special powers?
Super speed.
Yeah, like he's just climbing up the rope super fast, and then he's climbing through the ducks super fast, and then he's clambering over to his gun super fast. Like, I didn't know he had super speed. Is that just when he's got a hole in his head, or what?
He's a robot. It's hard to say. I mean, they can do anything. Because if you think back to episode 2, when they're busting into the police station, and Kennex comes through, and they're shooting at that guy, and then he just comes through, and he's getting shot like 10 times, and then Kennex pops up and kills him. So Dorian is invincible, apparently.
I really hope that it doesn't become a thing where every episode they get into a firefight and Dorian gets shot like 10 times.
And doesn't die.
And
or
doesn't
nothing happens.
die.
Yeah.
Well, he almost died in this episode. And I really loved that beat at the end when they're in the car and he's like, thank you, I was afraid of dying, and he talked about this ice fishing story, which, like, I don't know, I thought it was gonna come out that was BS, and
Something
that
like that. I thought that too.
Yeah,
That it wasn't true that he said it to make. I think her name was Jenna.
yeah.
Feel
to
better.
make
Jenna was
Jenna
the
feel
sister.
better. Jenna was the sister.
Wait.
She was played by Emily Rios. I always know actors' names, not character names.
Never.
Yeah.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Ryan.
Paige.
Paige. There
and
we
Jenna
go.
reunited
Yeah.
at the end.
Yes, Paige. And, like, who else thought when Paige went up to Kennex at the end that she was just like, do you want to have dinner sometime?
I
Or,
was waiting for it.
yeah, she had, like, the just overcome look on her face.
She was average height, right?
Mm-hmm.
That works.
That's his type of girl. Average height.
Average height, brunette, soul-searching eyes, passionate about her job.
Call me.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Call me.
Meow. And we learned that Kennex sleeps with his leg off. Yeah, which is fine. I have no problem with that. He has to charge his leg.
Well, I'm kind of a nerd, so that was a very Full Metal Alchemist moment for me. It's like, oh, he's putting on his automel. Oh no, wait, it's future automel.
It's just his leg. He needs that to walk.
He just needs a leg to walk. Okay, I wonder if his leg has superpowers, guys.
Well, if it did, then it would take off without him.
He can. He stabbed it. He stabbed himself in the leg 2 weeks ago.
he's got a rocket foot. He's got a rocket foot, and he can just launch it, and it's like a grappling hook. But then he gets pulled up by the foot. That would just be so dumb. Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Don't do that,
Don't
J.H.
ruin
Someone
this for
make a
me.
comic, though. That would be great.
You know better, J.H. Wyman. Don't do the rocket foot.
Make a spin-off for a different network. You
Yeah.
can't afford this.
Yes. You can't afford. You're right. We spent the whole episode in the stairwell. We can't afford a rocket foot. Oh, okay. I just want to quickly talk to the folks at home about iTunes before we continue. Folks, thank you so much for reaching out on iTunes, on YouTube, on the Twitter. We love having a conversation
Twitter.
with our fans. It's true. I call it the Twitter because it's cleaner. I don't care what Justin Timberlake and the Social Network says. I like the Twitter or the Facebook.
The Facebook and the
The
Twitter.
iTunes. And we do this show for free. We do not get paid. It is a free program, and AfterBuzz TV puts out 60-plus free programs a week. It's a hell of a lot of free content. We do it for you because we know you love TV and you want to talk about it. So how can you help us, help you, help us, help you, help us, help you? Here's how. Go to iTunes, slap us with a 5-star rating. It helps our bosses know how well we're doing here at the Almost Human After Show. It helps keep the show searchable so we can kick
Absolutely.
the butt out of all the other Almost Human podcasts.
Because nobody cares about Miley Cyrus, so let's get her out of there.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus's Almost Human podcast is way too popular, so we need to
Are you
beat her.
kidding? She has an Almost Human podcast.
I am kidding.
I'm
Oh,
totally
thank
kidding.
God.
Yeah. No, I mean, granted, I would listen to it once just to see it. And I just want to give a quick shout out because this is easily, I do a lot of shows here, and this is easily the nicest thing anyone's ever written. It was our first review of the Almost Human After Show by His Face, though, and I don't know if that's about me. Is it wrong that I get as excited about a new show as hearing that Matt is doing an after show? Love your energy. Thank you, His Face, though. Your face, though, is even better. Oh, my God.
We love you. 5-star rating for us.
Yes. So reach out on the iTunes, on the YouTube. If you don't have either of these wonderful services, you can reach out via email. Let our bosses know how we're doing. info@AfterBuzzTV.com. Maybe subject line, almost human, but definitely great. Not bad. Maybe something else.
I think I'm going to use that, actually.
Yeah.
Phil, this one's coming to you.
Yes. Almost human, but definitely great.
So I actually would like to read a viewer comment as well, then, since we're talking about the iTunes.
Please do.
Somebody said that they wondered, what if Kennex was killed in a raid and is actually an android?
But then if he was an android, why would he have a fake android leg? That's like...
I'm just stirring the pot.
I know. It's just that's like, and we were talking about that last week. We were talking about like, what if he's an android or like something like that? But I feel like that's too big of a leap because then there's a massive conspiracy. Like unless he's an experiment.
Save it for season 2.
Honestly, if it hadn't been for the leg, I think that was a really good theory.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the leg thing this week.
This theory doesn't have a leg to stand on. No more of that. But honestly,
Do we have to
especially
start
with
a
his
pun jar for this show?
no, that's okay. Yeah. But especially with his memory and not being able to fully remember, so that would be very, very interesting if they did put his consciousness in an android body and he didn't know because he was in a coma for 2 years.
That's true.
So that
Mysterious circumstances.
So that would have been really interesting, or maybe that's what makes Dorian special. Is maybe he did used to be a person.
Well,
I know they have
that's a
that
good
soul
idea, yeah.
software, but maybe
Synthetic soul.
yeah, maybe that's just a ploy. Maybe that's what makes
Let's
Dorian
talk about
and
this.
the
Let's talk about
DRMs.
this. We know that the Syndicate, no one really knows what they're about. They're criminals. They're acquiring all this advanced technology. Captain Maldonado is positive that they have a mole or moles inside the department. So it is possible that there is a big conspiracy, and we don't know quite what their aim is. But I'm wondering if Kennex's ex-girlfriend, who turned out to be a member of the Syndicate, maybe she planted herself near him to find the perfect candidate for this program of creating this new kind of android. It's entirely possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really early on in the series, so basically it could go in any direction.
Yeah.
All of those are very viable theories, and yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you look at the technology that's getting introduced episode to episode. So in the second episode, we had androids with human skin.
Lifelike human skin.
Lifelike human skin and real people's DNA. Which, if Kennex is an android, he has the skin
Potential
and
for that.
and DNA of Kennex. He has what would be fake blood with his DNA in it.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's an android and the real Kennex is hooked up somewhere.
Right?
And yeah.
Oh, and then he has to save himself, and then we have like a weird second or third season where there's two Kennexes.
And he's in the Matrix, and he needs to unplug, and then
or maybe it's
they
like
face off.
surrogates, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well, no, I mean not in that sort of way, but yeah, maybe the Syndicate has, the real Kennex captured in like somewhere.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the end of that raid. He kind of passed out.
Yeah, it was just kaboom and gone.
And then 2 years later, he's just awake.
it's ready to rock.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things we don't know. So we have that technology, and then this week we have the face maker. So, they may have just molded his face onto this new kind of android.
The only, there
There's
are still a lot of holes in this theory, but one of them would be that the other synthetics would be able to recognize him. So if he was an android, then
and
it would
he
have
also
to be
doesn't
with some
have any special powers or special sight.
that we know of.
That we know of, yes. And there's
That's
also the theory that if they're using this face recognition technology, that he indeed could be the mole in the police force.
That was another comment.
Yeah, somebody else said that,
on
yeah.
the YouTube. Yes, it's entirely possible. Like, I'm just wondering, like, do we really want the world's twistiest television narrative of all time on a Fox show? Like, I feel like that's dangerous. They gotta build it slow. Take your time, J.H.
Foundation
Wyman.
is the key to success.
It's true.
Well, I still feel like the mole is definitely. There might be multiple moles, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely sure that if there is a mole within the show and that's the way we're going, it's somebody that we know. It's one of the main cast members that
Well,
we
how
look up.
crushing would it be if he hooks up with Agent Stahl and then or Detective Stahl and then she's the mole, so he gets played again.
Played again. Well, I mean, it can't be Detective Paul because we already hate him. So
yeah, it's true.
It's never the guy that you hate. It's always the guy that you love.
Oh, see, you're new to this show. On this show, I refuse to refer to him by his name. He is a douchebag comet detective.
Oh.
He's just that guy who you hate because he just is a dick who
For no reason.
drops douchey comments because he is nothing better in life, and he just gets to go home and be like, yeah, I showed him.
Yeah.
Another
Done.
job well done.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's the captain.
It could be.
It could be
This
Captain
could be a
Maldonado.
conspiracy that goes up
All
how-
the
Another
way to
comment
the
on
and
top.
she's the one that wanted him back in. So if he is being manipulated in some way, maybe the
Megan
captain is the one
Salinas.
The
pulling
other
the
comment could
strings.
be too. I saw. What if Rudy is actually involved in some way? If he's an android as well,
I feel like it's not Rudy.
I like Rudy. He's quirky.
who doesn't love Mackenzie Crook?
I love Mackenzie Crook in anything he does. Ever since The Office and Pirates of the Caribbean, and next week apparently it looks like he's gonna get a nice big episode.
Yes,
Yay.
Which is
finally.
great, and hopefully we'll clear up exactly who he is and what he does, because it was left
Other than build things.
relatively ambiguous. He's just the guy who builds stuff, I guess, for the department in a dusty old
He
place.
lives behind the bowling alley.
Yeah.
He's his secret lab.
Well, when John was initially going there in the first episode, I was like, okay, he's clearly in some shady back alley area like he was at the
Yeah.
beginning. And then it's like, no, this guy works for the police department. I was like, really? Mm-hmm. How badly underfunded is this particular department that he has to work in this little
Bad.
shanty?
Crime went up 400%. Were you paying attention?
They don't have any more MX units. They have to give him a DRN. You
Yeah,
know?
they're out of resources. Shoot, and like so many MXs have been blown up so far. I mean, like it's bad news in that department.
I was gonna say, I wonder how much money literally went out the window when he pushed that MX out of the car.
At least $300,000. It's, I mean, an Android is an expensive piece of equipment. I want to talk very quickly about the scene where Dorian has been hit by a ricochet, and Kenix has to repair him, and he grabs this like bloody Q-tip
Q-tip.
out of a
And
trash
chewing gum.
can, which they still have Q-tips in 2048.
Done.
Yeah, they
means-
still have Q-tips and gum. The two have not changed one bit.
They're both timeless.
Yeah.
They're both
Well, I would
timeless.
think by then we would have like Willy Wonka style meal gum, you know, like
The
never goes
everlasting
away.
gobstopper.
And something that sucks the wax out of my ear.
yeah,
Very
exactly.
gingerly.
Some kind of like reusable metal suction-y thing, or just like an earwax laser.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I
Those two
guess.
things work.
Well, we're
Let them
running
be.
out of resources, and that takes up cotton and wood pulp. Okay, those are going to be
Absolutely.
in short supply in 35 years. Shoot. I mean, all right. But anyway,
Back to task.
back to
Bringing it back around. Q-tips and gum.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back. Yeah, I will go off topic if you let me. And I'm running the show. So, and
Pull the reins. Let's pull the reins.
Pull the reins, please. So, he's reaching inside Dorian's head. Dorian's like, "Is that clean?" And he knows it's not because he can
not.
scan it. And he does it anyway. He's like, "All right, I need you to cut the magenta tendon."
His whole head is magenta.
Yeah, it's all shades. It's 50 Shades of Purple in there.
Lavender.
And I'm like, nice joke, Wyman.
Da-da-da.
Yeah. It's lavender, it's magenta, it's mauve, it's taupe. It's all over the place. And he cuts the wrong thing, and Dorian basically dies for a hot second. And he's like, oh crap. So he
I
takes
killed my partner.
So somehow he takes his gum, and I guess
It's a gum from under the table or from the trash can because he chews it. Because
Yeah.
he's doing the
Ew.
face where he's putting it in his mouth.
Yeah, ABC gum. And he just sticks it in Dorian's head, and it fixes him, kind of, I guess.
Science.
Can I just tell you that I actually wrote down ABC gum in my notes?
Of course you did, because
I did.
you're diligent, you're a good team member, and you came to win.
ABC gum all the way.
Yeah.
Ugh.
ABC gum. Always be closing gum.
Ugh.
Yes.
Gross.
Glengarry Glen Ross. It's a great movie. Alec Baldwin. Yes.
Anyway,
Okay.
gum on the head.
Gum on the head.
Closing it down.
Yes. Dorian, he loses his ability to walk until the gum suddenly helps him walk again, I guess. And he tells Kenix, when they find out, okay, these guys are using this light bomb and they're gonna blow up all the hostages. that Dorian's gonna get up there and stop this as soon as possible. And he climbs up the elevator shaft ropes super fast. And he takes out several of these guys, and he's so awesome doing it with his friggin' machine pistol. How cool. I know. And so he shot enough that he falls down. And Dewey Crow from Justified is standing over him, and he's ready to pop him in the head when Kennex shows up.
Kennex in disguise.
Bam! And so rad. And, like, I don't know. Is this show glorifying guns? I feel like it's brainy enough that it's justified in
Right.
how awesome it makes guns look.
Because their guns are cool, too. They're, like, futuristic, but they're still, like, efficient. And
Yeah. We like our future
Well,
guns.
this is still a cop show. Don't forget.
Don't
You
forget.
can't have a cop
But
show
there are
without
other
guns.
but there are other cop shows where they're not shooting people every week.
But usually those are
This is
ones that
Fox.
deal more with like the forensic teams.
That's
This
true.
is John and Dorian. They go and Dorian can scan the crime scene and have all the forensic information you need right there, so we can get back to going out
he
and
knew
shooting
exactly
people.
how many bad guys there were based on the frequency of the face scramblers.
yeah.
So
Well, no, they had to ask.
no,
Paige.
he said based on the frequency of this, I can say that this gives out. There are 7 units in the building.
Oh damn. Okay. That's fine.
He did ask, but she didn't know. She's like, I think there's a few, but they've come in and out.
Yeah.
And
So-
also, he was probably trying to get her mind, in towards a specific task
Oh,
to
how
help get her
funny
through.
was
Wasn't
it
crying.
when he turned into that Portuguese woman in the stairwell? He turned into the Portuguese
soothing.
woman. Yeah, very, very soothing. In Portuguese culture, it's common that a woman's voice is more soothing than a man's, and then he becomes Kennex to Kennex's displeasure. I mean, if I was Dorian and I had all these powers, I would prank call people as Kennex all the time.
Well, and he already made a dating profile for him.
I don't know
online.
that he ever actually made one for him. I think he just was saying that just to needle him and get him
I actually
to...
thought that they were gonna either set up something where he and Detective Stahl were gonna be the ones that got matched up.
I thought so
on the
too.
date site.
I know it's just so early. They've got to throw a curveball in there.
So here's a question then, based on the curveball of this episode. What do you think the potential is or the need for the palladium? Because the whole heist was about them stealing palladium from the vault next door.
I feel like it's just they're gonna sell the palladium because it's expensive. I mean, that's what I got from it. We don't know.
Well, I did a little research on palladium.
Please
This is the
enlighten
nerd in me.
us.
46 element. It's used frequently in catalytic converters, which are good for converting harmful gases into less harmful gases. But could they also be used to reverse the process in creating more harmful gases? Because we saw back in the first couple episodes the
Myclon Red.
The Myclon Red. So is that something that could potentially lead back to the syndicate? Also used in fuel cell production for electricity, heat, and water.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Am I wrong? But was palladium also used in the Avengers? I might just be pulling that out.
that's
of my
what. Yeah,
ass.
that's what he used in his for the cell.
Oh no! Yes, exactly. That's what he used in
His power cell.
Iron Man.
Yeah,
That's
Iron
what
Man
he
power
is.
cell that was into the Avengers.
I knew it was in there
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's the power cells. It creates
Gotcha,
energy, heat,
yeah.
and water. So,
Well, that could lead back to the syndicate.
so I know I read
if
that and I thought
this-
that was an interesting potential. I thought that this could be something later down the road for the Myclon Red that we still don't know a whole lot about.
That's true. Well, we have no proof that they were involved with the syndicate, but these guys were smart. They had this plan. They knew exactly how the police would react. The one guy that they ID'd after they took off his facemaker, he only had a few counts of armed robbery on his jacket. He didn't really have any of this master planning stuff.
Gerald Layton was the bad guy's name.
Yes, Gerald Layton. Or was that his face?
No, afterwards he was Gerald Layton. Beforehand he was Lucas something. Lucas something.
Yes. Lucas something, the most dastardly member of the something Reformation group. Yes. We are well researched here at AfterBuzz. Well, we watch the show and
Lucas
then we come
Vincent.
right in to tape it.
He's
So,
from the Holy Reclamation Army.
Holy
That was
Reclamation Army.
That
Yes.
was it.
Who are apparently, they're terrorists, but they try not to kill people. Unlike these guys with their light bombs and their wacky red dots, which they shoot lasers through. Yeah, I thought that start button, I thought it was going to be a button for something, the start thing.
It's the easy button.
Yeah, start.
That was too easy, Fox. what do you think then the significance of the fishing igniter thing that they were having him build, the fake one that they wanted?
I don't think they ever they never intended to use it. What it was to me, and this is like just from years of watching movies, it's just like it's something to get to stall for time. Like there's no way the police are going to have their hands full trying to get this thing, debating whether or not they're even going to be able to do it. All of their focus is going to be on getting this thing and wondering why they need it. So they're thinking even less about why are these guys here.
Yeah, and like they knew that the police have no authorization to actually obtain this piece of military hardware, this military weapon. And so, and she even said, I don't have authorization for that. And he's like, well, I guess you better talk to somebody who does.
But then why didn't they give themselves more time? Because you saw at the end when the alarms got set back on and the gates shut down just when they were finishing up, why didn't they say, you know what, bring it to me in an hour and a half?
Well, then it starts to seem like their story isn't holding up.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, well, we have the thing that you asked for right now. We're ready to negotiate. We're ready to rush this over to you.
Rudy could have taken an hour to build it.
The longer that they spend time in there, the more time the police are able to think about why they're there. It's better, you get in, you do it, you get out.
43 minutes.
Because especially if you're holding people at gunpoint and you're like, give me this thing that, and then immediately it's like, oh, here you go. And your intention was not actually what you asked for. You're like, oh, actually, could you give me something else?
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of hungry.
Sure.
Could you go get lunch?
There's too many variables. The longer you keep those hostages, bathroom breaks, meals, they could have an uprising. They could. Even with the future guns. You know what? Like, it's just, there are too many variables. When you got a hostage situation, you do it as quickly as possible. Get in, get out, get done, spend your money, live free. Take off your face maker and let the breeze hit your face. Your real face, not your made face. Okay, I would like to go to predictions, please.
And now, your
AfterBuzz TV predictions. Okay.
Go ahead, Megan.
Yeah.
Goodness, I don't know. I didn't see the preview for next week's episode.
Well,
Do we have
I
something?
will tell you.
Rudy undercover.
Rudy goes undercover and he wants to wear a disguise. That's basically all we know.
Glasses. They find his glasses, so he gets kidnapped of sorts.
Yeah, he gets kidnapped. We don't know who he's going to investigate, but it's someone who doesn't want to talk to cops and apparently not to androids either. So Rudy has to be sent undercover. Maybe because of his expertise with androids, he can identify something. Yeah.
Something.
Okay.
That's all we know. We are great at our job.
They didn't give us anything to go on, so it's not really our fault.
It's true.
Fox, we need a little bit more, please.
Well, then we're definitely going to get some backstory on Rudy. And since John and Dorian are going to be sort of saddled to the sidelines, or my guess is that they're going to have to be like one step behind these guys who have Rudy. Mm-hmm. They're either going to go sort of on an attempted fetch quest for him while he ends up saving, getting himself out of trouble at the end.
Yeah.
Like they're going to show up and he's like, oh, guys, thank you. I have a ride home now, but I took care of it. Don't worry about
doubt
it.
I think, it's kind of like, it's the issue. We also do the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. There's a character named Fitz.
I'm aware.
On that show.
I watch that show.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of the Fitz dilemma where until
Does he kiss
recently
Simmons or not?
Right. Well, no, it's just he's like kind of bumbling and afraid, and now he's better than he was at the start of the show. But Rudy, we'll see what he's made of really next episode. And I honestly think we're gonna get hopefully just some more backstory on him, and a lot of comedy, and hopefully we'll have a better idea of what role he's going to play in the show going forward, and he's not just going to be the guy who builds stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to see him like as a character as opposed to just you perform this function and that's it.
Yes, I'd like to see more about Rudy as well. I think we're going to have a little bit more fun with John and Kennex. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to hopefully develop a little bit more with Detective Stahl.
Yeah, because we know nothing about her other than she's pretty.
And the syndicate is going to be involved in the kidnapping, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm hoping
forget
for a syndicate return with the next episode.
Me too.
Fantastic. Megan Salinas, where can the people find you?
You can find me on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. AfterBuzz, and you can follow me on Twitter at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And Ryan Hooks.
Hey, you can find me at RyanHooks92 on Yahoo, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and I also do Revolution here at AfterBuzz TV on Wednesday nights.
You give out your Snapchat?
Dude, Snapchat me. I love getting Snapchats from people.
Okay. All right, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV on the Sons of Anarchy, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sleepy Hollow, and what else? I do a lot of shows here.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who as well. We just did a couple episodes of that, and we're doing the Christmas special coming up in a month. And new shows get announced all the time, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.